Story Time is brought to you by पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ नॉर्थ टेक्सास। पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी में हम आहंगी का फ़रोग और मुस्बत सोच को परवान चढ़ाना हमारा मकसद और पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी के नुक्ते नज़र को मौसर अंदाज में पेश करना हमारी कोशिश का महवर। पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के हम कदम पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ नॉर्थ टेक्सास।
To the children of the world, we welcome you to another great session of Story Time, where we listen to some interesting and fascinating and true stories from Quran. And before we start our today's session, let's see who's here with us today. Yes, what's your name?
Hello, it's Hafsa.
Hafsa, okay.
Hello everyone, today you have Isha with you.
Isha, good. And you?
Hey, it's Anas with you.
Anas, very good.
Hi, it's Lari.
Larer, very good. Interesting. Okay, now we remember that we were talking about the people of Bani Israel, right? And they all started from Prophet Ibrahim. Now, Prophet Ibrahim had two sons. Who remember their names?
I know.
Yes.
Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam and Hazrat Ishaq alayhi salam.
Very good. Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam and Hazrat Ishaq. And Ishaq had a son. What was his name?
Yaqub.
Yaqub, right. And Yaqub had how many sons?
12.
12 sons. And those 12 sons became the people of Bani Israel, right? And among them came some great prophets, and some of them were Hazrat Yusuf, and then Hazrat Musa, and Daud. And who was son of Daud, remember? The great king who became a great king?
Hazrat Suleiman.
Hazrat Suleiman, right? And Hazrat Suleiman had this great big empire, and he was very powerful. But after his death, the people of Bani Israel, they believed in Allah, but they disobeyed Allah. They didn't worship idols, but still they disobeyed Allah. And Allah took their power away from them. They were not rich anymore, they were not powerful anymore, rather they were ruled by other people, especially the Romans. The Romans became powerful and they took over all the land of Palestine.
Were there non-believer in that area?
Yes, Romans were not believers. So the Muslim Bani Israel were living under the Romans who were non-believers. You know why it happened? Because the people of Bani Israel did not obey Allah. They did pray, they followed some of the things that Allah has told them, they didn't worship idols, but still they didn't follow everything that Allah told them to do. Now Allah kept sending messengers to guide them, Rasuls, right?
Yes.
And one of them was Zachariah. And Zachariah was sent and he was told to guide the people of Bani Israel. Now Zachariah was living among the people of Bani Israel and he divided his time for his job and for the masjid, the place where the people of Bani Israel prayed. And you know what Hazrat Zachariah did for living? What was his occupation? He was a carpenter. So he made things for people out of wood. And when he was done making things, he was staying in the masjid and he was guiding people, telling them about good things, about what Allah wants them to do. And the reason he was a carpenter, because he didn't want to take any money from people. And you know what, you take money from other people, you don't work and you take money from other people, what happens? You lose your respect. People don't respect you, right? So that's why Hazrat Zakaria was working, and then he was praying, and then he was guiding people. But the people of Bani Israel were very corrupt. They didn't give much attention to what he was saying. And all these years he was guiding them, telling them about Islam, and then finally he became an old man. And when he was an old man, he didn't have any children. And he was thinking, who will be the prophet after me? Who would be the next prophet? Because he didn't have a son. And all the other people around him were all corrupt. So he prayed to Allah. And he said that please make someone a prophet after me. Don't leave these people of Bani Israel without a prophet. There must be a prophet among them who would tell them about good things of Islam. And right when he was making this prayer, Angel Jibrail came in front of him in the shape of a human being. And at that time, Zakaria was a very old man, and his wife was very old as well. And Jibrail came and said, I have brought a good news for you. Allah will give you a son, and his name will be Yahya. And this name Yahya is not given to anybody before this day. It's a new name only for your son. And Hazrat Zakaria was surprised. He was amazed. He said to the Jibrail that I will have a son and I will name him Yahya. How can that happen? I'm a very old man and my wife is very old. And Jibrail said, for Allah, everything is possible. Good. Allah can do it. So within few days, Hazrat Zakaria and his wife became younger and younger. They started to become of less age. Their age started to reduce and they looked more stronger and younger. And Hazrat Zakaria asked Jibrail, what will be the sign? How would I know that I am going to have a son? And Jibrail said, a strange thing will happen to you. And that strange thing is that you will not be able to talk to anybody for 3 days and 3 nights. And you know why that happened?
Why?
Yes, because his job was to work as carpenter and to pray, and what was his real job? Was to talk to Allah and tell other people about Allah, right?
Yes.
So for 3 days and 3 nights, Allah just wanted him to pray and pray and pray only and not talk to other people. So for 3 days and 3 nights, Allah took away his power to speak. But before that power was gone, Jibrail came and said to Zakaria that now you must go out in the open in front of the mosque and gather all the people and tell them that for next 3 days and 3 nights I will not be able to speak and I will be staying in the masjid. And before that, I would like to tell you all that please keep praying to Allah. Don't cheat other people. Don't harm other people. Please help each other. And then he had this beautiful son who became a prophet as well, and his name was Yahya. And at that time, the Imam of the masjid, right? The one who leads the prayer and who is in charge of the masjid, what do we call him?
Imam.
Imam, right. He was also a relative of Hazrat Zakaria, and his name was Imran. And Imran and his wife Hannah, they also wanted a baby, and they didn't have a baby. And Hannah, his wife, Imran's wife, prayed to Allah. And she said, Allah, give me a baby. And I promise you that my baby will work in the masjid. That baby will be devoted, will be in the masjid all the time, taking care of the masjid and guiding other people and helping other people. And Allah listened to her prayers. But you know what happened? She thought she will have a baby boy. Instead, she had a baby girl. And she looked at her baby girl and said, Oh Allah, I thought I will have a baby boy. But here, I have a baby girl. But Allah knew it was Allah's plan to give her a baby girl. But after she grew up, the baby grew up a little bit, as she promised, Hannah sent her to the masjid and let her stay in a separate place in the house, in the masjid, where she can pray and guide other people. And when she went there to stay, someone had to be responsible for her, right? Someone was supposed to be her teacher. So all the scholars and teachers who were living there, they came to decide who would be her teacher. And they said, let's do something. Let's take some water and take our pens and throw them in water. And the pen that will stay floating in the water will be responsible of Maryam. And every time, they did it 3 times. And every time they threw their pens in the water, only Zachariah's pen kept floating in the water.
He was also a scholar.
Yes, of course. He was a prophet. So prophet is a scholar. So every time they threw their pen, Hazrat Zachariah's pen kept floating. So after doing this for 3 times, they said, it seems like Allah wants Zachariah to be in charge of Hazrat Maryam. And that's how Hazrat Zachariah became the teacher and the mentor and caretaker of Maryam. Now every day he would go into the room where Maryam stayed, and whenever he opened the door and went inside, he saw all these fruits and foods in the room, and he was shocked because those fruits were not of season.
Was there something special about Bibi Maryam?
Yes, the special thing is that she got this food from different places, and no one knew where these foods were coming from, because she prayed all the time. She prayed and prayed and prayed and didn't step out of the room. And yet she was getting all this food. So Hazrat Zachariah was surprised. And he said, what's so special about you? Where all this food is coming from? Especially these delicious fruits. They are not found in our area. And Hazrat Maryam said that Allah has made me special. And I pray to Allah all the time. And I get these fruits from Allah. Angels, Malaika bring this food for me. They are not brought here by me or by any other human being. And Zachariah was amazed. He said, Subhanallah. Now, once Hazrat Maryam grew up, an angel came to her and said that very soon you will have a baby. And she said, I'll have a baby? I'm not married. I don't have a husband. And the angel said, This is how Allah wants it to be. He wants you to have a baby who will be a prophet, and that baby will not have a father. You all have a father and a mother, right?
Yes.
But do you know that Hazrat Isa had only mother? He didn't have a father. Isn't that amazing? But everything is possible for Allah. And that's how Allah wanted it to be. So we can all see that Allah can do anything and everything. So Hazrat Maryam was very sad. Very sad. And why you think she was sad? Because she didn't have a husband and she was going to have a baby. And Jibreel came and said, don't worry, don't worry. This baby will come and explain to everybody who he is. And that calmed her down. She was fine now because Allah told her to be calm. And she had her trust in Allah. So finally the baby was born. And she took that baby and came out of her room and went on outside. And everyone was shocked. You know why they were shocked? Why they were shocked?
Because she was not married.
Yes, she was not married. And there was this baby.
What was the name of her baby?
Yes, her baby's name was Isa. And he was a prophet as well. So she came outside and she said that here I have a baby. And everyone looked at the baby and said, how can you have a baby? Where this baby came from?
He also became a prophet.
Yes, at the age of 30, he also became a prophet.
Was it a miracle?
Yes, it was a miracle. It was a miracle, exactly. And she held that baby and she said to people, this baby will answer who he is. And everyone was shocked even more. And they said, oh Maryam, how this baby will talk? This baby is so small. How can he answer? And Maryam looked at the baby and everyone was looking at the baby, and right at that time, Hazrat Isa, who was just a small baby, newborn baby, started to speak. And he said, I am Isa. Allah has blessed me and He has ordered me to pray and to give zakat. And I am blessed the day I am born and the day I will die. And everyone was amazed. No one up to now had seen a newborn baby talk. Have you ever seen a newborn baby talk?
No.
Yes, that was the first time and the only time till now that something like that had happened. A newborn baby talked and told everybody who he is. So that was Hazrat Isa. And when Hazrat Isa grew up, amazing things happened. And we will know about those amazing things in our next session of story time. Till then, we request you to keep praying to Allah and keep obeying your parents. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Story Time was brought to you by Pakistan Society of North Texas, پاکستانی امریکن کمیونٹی میں ہم آہنگی کا فروغ اور مثبت سوچ کو پروان چڑھانا ہمارا مقصد اور پاکستانی امریکن کمیونٹی کے نقطۂ نظر کو مؤثر انداز میں پیش کرنا ہماری کوشش کا محور۔ پاکستانی کمیونٹی کے ہم قدم، پاکستان سوسائٹی آف نارتھ ٹیکساس۔